Commander Vrex of the Galactic Armada sipped his nutrient fluid, staring through the observation deck at the small blue planet designated Sol 3. The humans called it Earth. What a ridiculous name. Almost as ridiculous as the beings who inhabited it. Status report. He barked, his 6 eyes blinking in sequence as he turned to face Lieutenant Calrix. The human defense fleet has taken position around their orbital stations. Commander, Calrix replied, her tentacles dancing over the holographic controls. They appear to be waiting. Vrex snorted, a plume of bioluminescent gas escaping his breathing apparatus. For what? Divine intervention? The inevitable crushing defeat I'm about to deliver? Unknown, sir, but their communications indicate they are confident. Vrex nearly choked on his nutrient fluid. Confident? Do they not see our fleet? 27 warships, each capable of reducing their cities to molten slag? The audacity of these primates never ceases to amaze me. The bridge fell silent as the crew avoided making eye contact with their increasingly agitated commander. Only Junior Officer Zep dared to speak. Perhaps, sir, they have some strategy? Vrex laughed, the sound reminiscent of metal scraping against glass. These are humans, Zept. Their idea of strategy is running directly at a problem while screaming and hoping it works out. They did manage to repel the Craxian invasion, Zep pointed out. The Craxians, Vrex waved 3 dismissive limbs, were fools who underestimated human tenacity. We will not make the same mistake. We have studied them for decades. Their weapons technology is primitive. Their ships are practically held together with adhesive and hope. Tactical Officer Nexus cleared her throat. Commander, we are detecting unusual energy readings from the human fleet. Define unusual. Vrex narrowed his primary eyes. Well, sir, it appears to be sound waves. Amplified sound waves. Sound waves? Vrex blinked rapidly in confusion. In space. They are broadcasting them through subspace frequencies, sir. Vrex stared at her for a long moment. Are you telling me they are trying to fight us with noise? It appears so, Commander. The bridge erupted in laughter, Vrex's booming guffaw leading the chorus. This is precisely what I mean. See how primitive they are? Sound waves? As a weapon? Against MY fleet. The laughter died abruptly as the first wave hit them. That IT wasn't painful, exactly, but it was unsettling. A rhythmic pulsation that seemed to crawl up Vrex's spine and nestle uncomfortably in his brainstem. What is that? He demanded. Communications Officer Pell looked up from her station, her face contorted in confusion. It appears to be human music, sir. Music? Vrex spat the word like it was poison. You mean their recreational audio patterns? Yes, sir. But there's something unusual about this particular selection. A voice, unmistakably human, began to accompany the rhythmic beats, now flooding through the ship's communication systems. We are no strangers to love, the voice crooned. One of the 7 moons of Tarkus is this. Vrex demanded. You know the rules, and so do I. Shut it off, he ordered. Appel's tentacles flew across her console. I'm trying, sir. They have somehow integrated it into our communication protocols. It's everywhere. A full commitment's what I'm thinking of. How is this a weapon? Vrex shouted over the increasingly infectious melody. This is absurd, but something strange was happening. All around the bridge, crew members were beginning to move. Subtle at first, a tentacle tapping here, a claw bouncing there, but it was spreading. Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, Commander, Security Chief Borgs called out, panic edging his voice. Similar reports coming in from all ships in the fleet. The music is affecting crew efficiency. Some are reportedly dancing. Dancing? Vrex slammed his appendage on the command console. In the middle of a battle formation? This is mutiny. It's not intentional, sir. It's like the rhythm is bypassing their higher brain functions. Vrex felt it too, an inexplicable urge to move in time with the insidious beat. He fought it with every fiber of his being. Never gonna run around and desert you. Contact Fleet Admiral Zixon. Vrex ordered. Tell him we are under attack by He couldn't even bring himself to say it. "Sir," Tactical Officer Nexus shouted. "Human vessels approaching. They are moving in formation. They appear to be dancing." The observation screen showed the human fleet, their ships moving in perfect synchronization with the music's beat, performing what could only be described as a choreographed routine. "They are taunting us," Rex whispered, horrified that a new transmission cut through the music. A human face appeared on screen, a military commander, judging by the decorations on his uniform. "Greetings, Commander Vrex," the human said with an insufferable grin. "I'm Admiral Jackson of the United Earth Defense Force. I see you are enjoying our little greeting." "This is psychological warfare," Vrex accused, banned under the Galactic conventions of sentient engagement. Actually, Jackson's grin widened. "It's called Rickrolling, and there's nothing in the conventions about sharing our culture with new friends." "We are not friends," Vrex roared. "Not yet," Jackson agreed pleasantly. "But we have 7,924 more songs queued up. By the time we get to Macarena, I suspect you will feel differently." Horror washed over Vrex as he realized the implications. "You wouldn't." "Oh, we absolutely would. In fact," Jackson turned to someone off-screen. "Lieutenant, initiate Phase 2. The music abruptly changed. A different beat, somehow even more insidious than the first. "I'm too sexy for my shirt. Too sexy for my shirt. So sexy it hurts." All around Vrex, crew members began moving more vigorously. Junior Officer Zept had abandoned all pretense of maintaining his station and was now fully engaged in what appeared to be an interpretive dance. "Commander," Communications Officer Pell shouted over the music. "The humans are transmitting this across all frequencies. It's being picked up by civilian vessels throughout the sector." Rex sank into his command chair. This wasn't just an attack. It was humiliation on a galactic scale. "And I'm too sexy for Milan. Too sexy for Milan, New York, and Japan." The human admiral's face reappeared. "Having fun yet, Commander? We have dozens of one-hit wonders from the 1990s lined up just for you." "What do you want?" Vrex demanded, his voice barely audible over the music and the increasingly enthusiastic movements of his bridge crew. "Simple. Withdraw your fleet. Sign a non-aggression pact. And maybe, if you're nice, we will send you our Spotify premium subscription as a gesture of goodwill." "This is barbaric," Vrex protested. Jackson shrugged. "We work with what we have got. Your technology might be superior, but our ability to create earworms is unmatched in the galaxy." As if to prove his point, the music changed again. "Baby Shark, do. A wail of pure anguish escaped Security Chief Borix, who collapsed to the floor, appendages over his auditory receptors. "Stop," Vrex shouted. "We will withdraw." Jackson's smug face returned. "Excellent choice, Commander. We will transmit the non-aggression terms immediately. And as a show of good faith, we will switch to something more soothing." The music changed to what Vrex recognized as classical human orchestration. It was tolerable. "Oh, and Commander," Jackson added, "if you ever think about coming back, just remember, we haven't even shown you TikTok dances yet." The threat hung in the air like a toxic cloud. 3 standard cycles later, Vrex stood before the Galactic Council, attempting to explain his humiliating retreat. "So let me understand this correctly," High Counselor Dexter said, her crystalline form glittering with skepticism. "You withdrew a battle fleet of 27 warships because the humans played music at you?" Vrex shifted uncomfortably. "Not just any music, High Counselor. Weaponized music. They have somehow isolated the most cognitively disruptive auditory patterns in the galaxy. And this." Dexter consulted her notes. "Baby Shark? It incapacitated your security chief." "You weren't there," Vrex said darkly. "You didn't hear it. The repetition, the simplicity, the way it burrows into your mind." High Counselor Vrock leaned forward. "Is there any defense against these acoustic weapons?" "Our scientists are working on specialized auditory filters," Vrex replied. "But the humans have thousands, perhaps millions, of these sonic assaults in their arsenal. They have been perfecting them for centuries, apparently for their own entertainment." "Entertainment?" Counselor Pax looked aghast. They voluntarily expose themselves to these psychological weapons. Yes, Vrex nodded grimly. They call it pop culture. Some humans even pay currency to attend massive gatherings where these sonic patterns are performed live at devastating volumes. The council chambers fell silent as the implications sank in. By the cosmic void, Dexter whispered. What kind of species evolves to enjoy psychological warfare? A dangerous one, Vrex answered. Far more dangerous than we ever suspected. Lieutenant Calorix, standing at Vrex's side, spoke up. There's more. Counselors, since our encounter, our intelligence indicates that humans are developing what they call a greatest hits of the 80s package specifically for extraterrestrial defense. A collective shudder passed through the council. Then diplomatic relations it is, Dexter declared. Effective immediately, Sol 3 and its colonies are to be classified as approach with extreme caution. No military vessels are to enter their space without express permission and auditory protection. As Vrex left the council chambers, he found himself unconsciously humming. Never gonna give you up? Never gonna let you down? He stopped abruptly, horrified. The weapon's effects were lingering, embedded in his neural pathways. Are you well, Commander? Calorix asked. No, Vrex admitted, and I suspect I never will be again. The humans have changed the nature of warfare itself. Back in his quarters, Vrex received an unsolicited transmission from Earth. Cautiously, he opened IT. IT was a collection of what humans called playlists, each labeled with terrifying names like road trip classics, workout motivation, and most disturbingly, songs that get stuck in your head. Attached was a brief message from Admiral Jackson. Thought you might want to build up some immunity. Start with ABBA. They are gateway earworms. Vrex stared at the transmission for a long moment before reluctantly opening the ABBA section. For the sake of galactic security, he would study this weapon. Know thy enemy, as the humans themselves said. As the first notes of Dancing Queen began to play, Vrex felt his appendages beginning to move of their own accord. The humans were right. It was indeed their stupidest weapon, and quite possibly their most effective. 0.5 standard galactic cycles had passed since the infamous Rickrolling incident, as it had come to be known throughout the civilized sectors. Commander Vrex, now Admiral Vrex, following his unexpected promotion, had become the reluctant expert on human acoustic weaponry within the Galactic Armada. His new title came with a specialized research vessel, the GSV Harmony Defender, dedicated to understanding and developing countermeasures against Earth's sonic arsenal. Not that anyone would admit that's what they were doing. Officially, they were conducting cultural exchange studies. Admiral, incoming transmission from Central Command, announced Communications Director Plex, who had specifically requested this assignment despite, or perhaps because of, her unusual appreciation for human disco. Vrex sighed, setting aside the analysis of something humans called Bohemian Rhapsody, which their scientists had determined contained no fewer than 6 distinct sonic attack patterns cleverly disguised as a single composition. Put it through, he ordered. The stern face of Fleet Commander Zubron filled the view screen. Admiral Vrex, we have a situation. The Draconian Horde has violated the non-aggression treaty with Earth. They have deployed 3 battle groups to the Sol system. Vrex felt his primary heart skip a beat. The Draconians? Are they insane? They can't possibly understand what they are facing. Precisely why I'm contacting you, Zubron replied grimly. The Galactic Council has voted to send you as an observer. Consider it a professional courtesy to warn the Draconians of what they are about to experience. You want me to go back there? Vrex's voice rose an octave. I still wake up humming Baby Shark at random intervals, which is why you're uniquely qualified, Zubron said without sympathy. Your ship is already being rerouted. You will rendezvous with the Draconian fleet at the edge of the Sol system in 48 hours. The transmission ended before Vrex could protest further. Well, said Chief Science Officer Drex, Vrex's clutch brother who had insisted on joining this mission out of what he claimed was scientific curiosity, but Vrex suspected was actually schadenfreude. This should be interesting. Interesting? Vrex glared at him. Have you even read my reports on human acoustic warfare? Of course. Drex replied, his face tentacles rippling with amusement. I particularly enjoyed your analysis of something called Cotton Eye Joe and its effects on spatial awareness. Vrex shuddered visibly. 3 navigation officers crashed their shuttles after exposure to that one. 3. Yes, but we developed countermeasures, Drex pointed out. The neural dampening earpieces, which work on exactly 17% of known human musical attacks, Vrex interrupted. And the Draconians don't even have ears. They perceive sound through vibrational plates along their torsos. They are basically walking resonance chambers. Tactical analyst Jorks looked up from her station. Admiral, if I may, our intelligence suggests the Draconians believe human music is a hoax, propaganda we created to explain our strategic withdrawal. Of course they do, Vrex muttered. Typical Draconian arrogance. They are broadcasting their battle plans openly, Jorks continued. They intend to seize control of something called TikTok servers as their first strategic target. The bridge fell silent. They are targeting TikTok. Medical Officer Quip finally asked. As in, the repository of human dance challenges and musical memes. Affirmative, Jorks confirmed. They appear to believe it's a weapons development facility. Well, Vrex said after a long pause, they're not entirely wrong. 48 hours later, the GSV Harmony Defender took up position at the rendezvous coordinates. They didn't have to wait long before the massive Draconian warships materialized from hyperspace, their distinctive spiked hulls gleaming menacingly in the light of Sol. Draconian flagship hailing us, Admiral, Plex reported. On screen, Vrex ordered, straightening his ceremonial cape. The reptilian visage of Draconian Supreme Commander Gorvalax filled the view screen, his golden scales catching the light dramatically. Admiral Vrex. Gorvalax rumbled, not bothering with pleasantries. Your presence is unexpected, but inconsequential. The Draconian Horde has come to claim this system. Supreme Commander, Vrex replied carefully, I have been sent by the Galactic Council to advise caution. The humans possess unconventional defenses that we are well aware of your humiliating retreat. Gorvalax interrupted, mandibles clicking in what passed for Draconian laughter. Rest assured, we do not share your species' apparent sensitivity to primitive noise patterns. It's not simple noise, Vrex tried again. It's, your warning is noted and dismissed. Gorvalax cut him off. You may observe our victory from a safe distance. Gorvalax out. The transmission ended. Well, said Drex cheerfully, we tried. Set course to follow at a safe distance, Vrex ordered. And power up all sensors. I want every detail of this impending disaster recorded for posterity. And for scientific research, Drex added. That too, Vrex agreed. Though I suspect this will be more useful as a cautionary tale. The Harmony Defender maintained a discreet distance as the Draconian fleet approached Earth. Surprisingly, the human defense vessels didn't immediately move to intercept. Instead, they maintained orbit around their planet, apparently unconcerned by the approaching armada. They are just waiting, Jorks observed, just like they did with us. The calm before the storm, Vrex muttered. When the Draconians reached the outer defense perimeter, a transmission burst forth from Earth, targeting not just the Draconian vessels, but broadcasting openly across all frequencies. Here it comes, Vrex warned, motioning for his crew to activate their neural dampeners. The face that appeared on their view screen, however, wasn't Admiral Jackson or any military official. It was a young human female with elaborate facial decorations and colored hair. Hey, space lizards, she exclaimed with alarming enthusiasm. Welcome to Earth's orbit. I'm Destiny Sparkles, Earth's first intergalactic social media ambassador, and we are so excited you are here. The bridge crew of the Harmony Defender exchanged bewildered glances. This is new, Drex commented, but on screen, the human continued, we have prepared a super special welcome for you guys. Since you came all this way to check out TikTok, we thought, why not give you the full experience? So we have compiled the top 10,000 trending dances and challenges just for you. Vrex felt a cold dread wash over him. They wouldn't hit it, DJ Space Jam, the human shouted. What followed was unlike anything even Vrex had experienced. The broadcast split into thousands of simultaneous video feeds, each showing different humans performing synchronized movements to various musical patterns. The cacophony was overwhelming, even with neural dampeners. They have weaponized their social media platform. Vrex whispered in horrified awe on the tactical display. They watched as the Draconian ships began to drift out of formation. Several smaller vessels appeared to be moving in strange, rhythmic patterns. Admiral, Plex called out, "The Draconians are hailing the humans." "Put it through," Vrex ordered, morbidly curious. Supreme Commander Gorvalax's face appeared, but something was wrong. His normally rigid posture was swaying slightly, and his head was bobbing in time with one of the countless beats flooding the communication channels. What is this sorcery?" Gorvalax demanded, his fearsome voice now tinged with confusion. The human ambassador reappeared, beaming with delight. "Do you like it? This one's called the Renegade. Your vibrational plate physiology is perfect for it. See, you start with your claws like this." "Stop this at once," Gorvalax roared, though Vrex couldn't help noticing that the Supreme Commander's upper limbs were now moving suspiciously in sync with the human's demonstration. "OMG, you are natural," Destiny Sparkles exclaimed. "Wait till we get to this savage challenge. Your troops are going to SLAY. We are the Draconian Horde." Gorvalax protested. "We do not. Slay." "Not with that attitude," the human replied cheerfully. "But don't worry, we have got hours of tutorials queued up. By the end of today, you will be able to hit every beat drop." Vrex watched in fascination as chaos unfolded across the Draconian fleet. Reports flooded in of crew members abandoning battle stations to mimic the movements displayed in the human broadcasts. Several ships had begun maneuvering in patterns that resembled the dance routines. "Admiral," tactical analyst Jorks reported, "I'm detecting unusual activity from the Draconian flagship. They appear to be transmitting back to the humans." "What are they sending?" Vrex asked, dreading the answer. "Video feeds, sir, of Draconian officers participating." The bridge fell silent as they processed this information. "They have succumbed faster than we did," Vrex finally said, a note of professional respect in his voice that on the main view screen, Destiny Sparkles was now coaching an increasingly compliant Gorvalax through something called the woe. "That's it. Now hit it. Now. Perfect. You have got 50 million views already." 50 million? Gorvalax repeated, mandibles clicking in what Vrex now recognized as pleasure rather than derision. "Totally. You are trending across 3-star systems. The hashtag Draconians Dance-Off is literally breaking the quantum internet right now." 6 hours later, Vrex watched in disbelief as the Draconian fleet reorganized into a massive formation that, from above, created a moving image recognizable as a smiling human face with the words "like" and "subscribe" spelled out by their smallest vessels. "I have never seen anything like this," Drex admitted, taking notes furiously. "The humans have bypassed direct conflict entirely. They have redirected the Draconians' aggression into performance art." "Admiral," Plex called out. "Incoming transmission from Earth." "It's Admiral Jackson." The familiar face of the human military commander appeared on screen, looking considerably more amused than during their last encounter. "Admiral Vrex, good to see you again. Enjoying the show?" "This is beyond anything I could have imagined," Vrex admitted. "How did you know it would work on Draconians?" Jackson shrugged. "We didn't. But our xenopsychologists theorized that a species with vibrational sensory plates would be even more susceptible to rhythmic stimuli than your kind. Turns out they were right." "What happens now?" Rex asked. "Well, the Draconian Supreme Commander has just accepted a position as a guest judge on So You Think You Can Dance, Galactic Edition, and about 30% of their fleet has requested shore leave to attend something called dance workshops. We are setting up a cultural exchange program as we speak." Rex shook his head in amazement. "You have turned an invasion force into cultural tourists in less than a standard day cycle." "That's what we do," Jackson replied with a grin. "Now, I believe you've been studying our musical arsenal. Any favorites yet? I have developed a certain appreciation for your classic rock category," Vrex admitted reluctantly. particularly an ensemble called Queen. Excellent choice. I will have our cultural attaché send over their complete works. Consider it a peace offering. After the transmission ended, Vrex turned to his crew. Update our findings for the Galactic Council and add a formal recommendation that Earth be reclassified from approach with extreme caution to do not approach without cultural training. The Draconians, sir? Jorks asked. Vrex watched as the mighty warships of the once feared horde continued their synchronized movements against the backdrop of stars. I believe they're no longer a military concern, he said dryly, though they may dominate the next galactic dance competition. 3 months later, Vrex stood before the Galactic Council once again, concluding his presentation on human cultural warfare. In summary, he said, the humans have perfected a form of nonviolent conquest that we have no effective defense against. They don't want our territories or resources. They want our attention. And what do you recommend, Admiral? High Counselor Dexter asked. Formal diplomatic relations. Vrex replied without hesitation. Cultural exchange programs. Controlled exposure to human entertainment to build immunity. And under no circumstances should any species attempt military action against Earth. Because of their sonic weapons? Counselor Pax asked. No, Vrex shook his head. Because before you realize what's happening, you'll find yourself participating in their culture rather than fighting against it. The Draconians now operate the third most popular streaming channel in the sector. Supreme Commander Gorvalax, or DJ Gorvy as he now calls himself, has 17 million followers. As the council session concluded, Vrex received a private message on his communication device. It was from Admiral Jackson, containing only a video file labeled for your eyes only. Cautiously, Vrex opened IT. That IT was footage from the Harmony Defender's own security system, showing Vrex alone in his quarters, enthusiastically performing what humans called air guitar to Bohemian Rhapsody, while using a data stylus as a microphone that a text message followed. The next time your species considers military action, remember, we have receipts. P.S. Your falsetto isn't bad. Vrex deleted the message immediately, but couldn't help the involuntary rhythm his foot had started tapping against the floor. The humans had never needed advanced weapons. They'd been perfecting something far more insidious all along. Culture so infectious it could conquer without firing a shot. And the most terrifying part of him was beginning to enjoy IT. As he left the council chambers, humming what he now knew was called We Will Rock You. Vrex realized a profound truth. The human's stupidest weapon wasn't stupid at all. The IT was brilliant, and the galaxy would never be the same again.